From across the nation and around the world, for Pacifica Headlines, I'm Jesse Lent. A car fire is extinguished in Sidon, Lebanon yesterday after an Israeli drone strike ignited a car with two people inside, killing them both, according to Lebanon's state-run national news agency. The footage, courtesy of Reuters, shows several cars ablaze as firefighters work to put out the flames. Israeli air and artillery strikes intensified across southern Lebanon yesterday, with attacks in a number of cities, towns, and villages. 9 people were reportedly killed when Israeli jets and drones carried out at least 4 strikes in Ter Deba, just east of the port city of Tyre. On Tuesday, Israel's renewed conflict with Lebanon surpassed 100 days. According to The Guardian, it began when Hezbollah launched rockets at Israel in support of its ally Iran, when the U.S. and Israel launched strikes on that country back on February 28th. Israel has continued to issue evacuation orders for southern Lebanon. Almost 1 million people in the country, roughly 1/5 of the population, remain displaced from their homes, according to the UN, including in areas far beyond the front lines. Last night, hundreds of people gathered in Dahia, a predominantly Shia neighborhood in Lebanon's capital city of Beirut, to show their support for Iran. It comes as U.S. negotiators attempt to separate the war in Iran from Israel's war with Hezbollah. Iran is the one that represents us, one female supporter at the rally told Al Jazeera. We've never seen the government concerned about what's happening to us. Lebanon's health ministry says at least 3,696 people have been killed there during the conflict, while Israeli authorities say 30 soldiers and 4 civilians have been killed on both sides of the border, according to the BBC. As the U.S. and Israel's war on Iran enters its 104th day.
President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be, because Iran has a chance to make a good deal, a great deal. To codify what they said they've been willing to do, and they haven't been willing to do it.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, speaking from the U.S. naval base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, where he told reporters that U.S. prisoners of the U.S. at Guantanamo Bay, quote, should have been executed. As Hegseth promised, the U.S. military resumed attacks on Iran yesterday in what Central Command said were, quote, self-defense strikes against, quote, multiple targets. Central Command said the strikes were in response to, quote, Iran's unwarranted and continued aggression. The strikes followed a cycle of retaliatory attacks between the U.S. and Iran on Tuesday and early Wednesday, after Iran downed a U.S. Army Apache helicopter gunship in the early hours of Monday morning in what Iranian officials say was a response to an Israeli attack on the suburbs of Beirut. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says retaliatory strikes have been launched against U.S. forces in the region, specifically mentioning bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan, according to Iranian news reports. Bahrain's interior ministry said falling debris from the interception of Iranian drones injured an 11-year-old girl and damaged several vehicles and homes in the capital Manama and Hamad town, according to the New York Times. The paper also reports that 3 Indian sailors who were missing after a U.S. strike on the tanker Cerebello in the Gulf of Oman have been confirmed dead. The U.S. military attacked the ship on Wednesday because officials say it violated the American blockade of Iran. The Cerebello is the second vessel with an Indian crew struck by the U.S. military in the region this week. Strikes early Wednesday destroyed what appears to be a drinking water facility on Iran's southern coast near the Strait of Hormuz, according to an analysis by the New York Times. Iranian state media reports that the U.S. had hit water storage buildings, and a local official said that water was cut off to more than 20,000 people living in a town and villages nearby. According to the Times, it's unclear if the U.S. intentionally struck the water facilities or knew what was in those buildings. Yesterday, U.S. District Judge Richard Leon threw out a request from the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington to block President Donald Trump's $1.8 billion weaponization fund that was part of his settlement agreement in a lawsuit he filed against the IRS. Judge Leon asked Justice Department Attorney Andrew Block why department leaders would not formally rescind the fund. I don't know, Block said. Don't play possum with this court, Leon told Block before ending the hearing. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines playing possum as to, quote, pretend to be asleep or dead. Those are the latest Pacifica headlines. For the Pacifica Network, I'm Jesse Lent.